Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, Chelsea Football Club are at it again. Exceedingly confident that the Edouard Mendy deal is going to go through, and for a much cheaper price than originally touted by the mainstream media. A couple of days ago, they were talking about a £30 million deal for the goalie. That has now come in around somewhere in the region of £18 million. Petr Cech is a big fan of Mendy and is pushing hard to get this deal done. Chelsea feel it's a matter of hours. It's a matter of moments before the deal is concluded. They will then put all their attentions into signing Declan Rice and bringing him back to Chelsea. They believe that that is a very doable deal for them. That will then mean they'll look at removing players, the likes of Jorginho, Barkley, Batshuayi, Emerson. These individuals are, of course, on the market to be sold. Chelsea have gone for a very different approach to many other Premier League teams. They're buying before they're selling. They're almost amalgamating maybe 2.5 transfer windows into one to get their squad up to the right level of quality. The gelling element is going to be a big factor in this. Can Chelsea get it to gel straight away? But still 2 more signings, very, very likely at Chelsea. And for me, I think Mendy is done. I think Mendy is over the line. I think Mendy will be a Chelsea player within the next 24 to 48 hours. Declan Rice on the agenda next. He will definitely be more expensive. If you paid 50 million for Chilwell, expect the same, if not a little bit more, for Declan Rice, of course. England regular starter. And I swear he came through the Chelsea Academy as well, Declan Rice. That may add a few extra pounds to him in relation to that. But I want your views and opinions. First of all, please hit that like button for me. Really important to the Football Terrace that we get that done. Morning to Rising Blues. He says here, Mendy is class. Jeremy Roger Wright says, good morning. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Rising Blue also said, Chelsea playing career mode. Yeah, Chelsea, it almost does feel like Chelsea playing FIFA. There is certainly an element of that. I'm watching this and I'm a little bit in awe of it, really. And I'm so intrigued to see how this is going to work in terms of this volume of players coming through the door in one summer. It's weird because there's a lot of rivals of Chelsea that are absolutely fuming over this. And I almost understand why to a certain extent. I get why people are angry. Well, my club have only signed 1 or 2 players. They've gone and signed 9. Why can't we? What I always say should be a caveat within any kind of situation like this is what else, what else have you got to factor in there when you buy so many players? And of course, the gelling element is there. If Declan Rice and Mendy come in, I don't think there could be any shadow of a doubt in a Chelsea fan's mind that challenging for the Premier League title is an absolute must. An absolute must. Remember, a top 4 team when Lampard took over, a team that was only champions 2 or 3 years prior, a team full of winners already, and you basically bought a brand new starting 11, dropping hundreds of millions. By the time this Rice deal, Mendy deal complete, you're already looking at around 220 odd million pound this summer. You had the Rice deal in, say it's 50, that's 270. Let's just say it's 20 million circular for Mendy. You're putting 290 in. If you then add the fact that, yes, I know they weren't his signings, but of course they were purchased and or added to his squad during his time there. You had the 40 million for Kovacic and the 57 million for Christian Pulisic, and that's nearly 400 million pounds worth of players. Now, Chelsea fans seem to be very, very triggered at the moment when you talk about how much money the club is spending. I wouldn't be. I'd be proud of it. I'd be proud that my club invested in this money. I'd be proud that my club broke our record signing to bring in Kai Havertz. It shows intent. It shows you want to move forward. It shows that you don't want to tread water. It shows you don't want Liverpool and Chelsea to remain in front of you. It is nothing to scoff at. I know it's fashionable to try and present this idea of money ball, and you want to buy cheap and develop, and nobody wants to be seen as a money club. I really wouldn't be bothered. But, for me, if you're fighting back against the money you're spending, it tells me you're conforming. It tells me, I want to be with the in crowd. I want to do what's cool. Just be who you are. Be what you are, be who you are, and do what you are. And Chelsea are a big spending team. They're spending big again. It's going to nurture the talent that's already there. I would be proud of it if I was a Chelsea fan. I'm not too sure why it's being scoffed at, but hundreds of millions of pounds spent on this Lampard squad has to, if these two deals come in. I don't think, if there's a Chelsea fan out there that thinks they shouldn't be challenging for the title now, I want to understand why you don't think that expectation would be there. Give us a call. Skype lines are now officially opening them now, are now officially open. So give us a call. Let's go through some of these comments here. Someone says, good afternoon. I'm a Chelsea fan, but I don't trust the keeper Mendy. He's very poor at saving. All he knows is punching the ball. Onana remains the best option for me. And I understand that. I understand why people don't want Mendy. And one of the biggest reasons I think people don't want Mendy is I don't think people know how good or bad he is. I think that really stands out in people's mind. We've got Andre Banny on the line now. Andre, who do you support?
What's up, Terry? How are you doing?
I'm very good. Who do you support, my bro?
I'm a Chelsea fan.
You're a Chelsea fan.
I'm all the way from Switzerland, by the way.
Thank you very much for calling in, my bro. I appreciate it. Looks like you're very close to signing Mendy, then Declan Rice on the agenda. It's just a conveyor belt of new signings. What do you make of these two individuals being, potentially coming into your squad?
Well, I'm not really sure about Edouard Mendy because we're again doing a signing like Zappacosta, just trying to plug a hole and then get rid of him next year or in 2 years' time. I just don't feel like that's the correct signing. If you are going to sign someone for 30 million, then sign someone for the future, for, I don't know, something you can develop. Because right now, the starting 11 from Chelsea at the moment is on the 25 years. Now, Thiago Silva obviously put the age up in that sense, but I think Edouard Mendy is good for what he does, like grabbing the ball in the air when there's a corner, there's a cross. He does good things that Kepa can't do just because of height. Because Edouard Mendy is 6'6". Kepa is is probably 6'1". There's a massive height difference there. Kepa can't, with his small frame, can't command the box, first of all.
Yeah, I get that. I think what's interesting about the Mendy deal is when the rumor first surfaced a couple of days ago, there was talk of it being 30 million. There are now a lot of reports suggesting it's going to be around the 18 million pound mark. That tells me that I'm not sure if Mendy's coming in to be the new number one. I think Mendy might actually be a backup signing anyway. I think he may come in and challenge Kepa this year. And you might see Kepa leave at the end of next season and another new goalkeeper coming. I kind of get the sense that Mendy's going to be Chelsea's backup for years to come. Just by the price that he's coming in at, the level of quality. I think he's a good goalkeeper. Do I think he's going to improve things to Chelsea dramatically? No, but as a 18 million pound, that seems more of a backup. In terms of Declan Rice, what do you make of that potential signing?
Well, I'm not sure. I haven't seen Declan Rice play. For what I've read on Twitter, obviously Twitter is not very reliable on opinions at this moment because it's a cesspool of just shitty opinions. But I don't know about Declan Rice. I'm not saying that he isn't good. I'm not saying he doesn't have the leadership capabilities in that sense. But to be honest, I'd prefer Jorginho because he's got the same leadership quality. He probably isn't as athletic that everyone says he isn't. Everyone wants to get rid of him because he's a sorry boy, But I think his passing quality and everything else, he's still young. He's 25. He's going to be 26. He can still develop and hit new heights in that sense.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
I would get rid of all the midfield players that aren't really in contention, like Barkley, like the Bakayokos and all those. Those are leaving anyways. But the thing is,
and there's a lot of money that Chelsea can raise for getting rid of those players. Bro, I appreciate you coming on, Andre. Thank you very much for calling the show, bro. First time caller. Thank you very, very much. Do me a favor, everyone tuning in, please hit the like button. It's so important to the Football Terrace that like button is hit. We're not going to go forward now until we go past 150. We've got Monster ready to come on. Kai ready to come onto the show as well. But we need to hit that 150 like mark while we're live right now. So make sure you're hitting that button. What I will say before we go forward, a lot of people are saying, well, Terry, what about Ollie having the expectations? Why don't you put expectations on him like Lampard? Firstly, stop being weak. If you don't watch all my shows, shame on you, first of all. I've quite literally said if Ollie lands the remainder of our targets this summer, so if Reguilon and or Alex Tellers and Sancho come in, you watch my energy be the same. Stop being little babies. Oh, you're putting expectations on me, my team. What about your team? Well, as it stands right now, £221 million of talent has been added to the Chelsea, to the Manchester United squad over the course of 2 summers. Right now, Chelsea are staring down the barrel once Mendy comes in at around £350 million of talent secured, signed since Lampard's been the manager. I granted 2 of them are not his signings, but he still had the benefit of the club concluding those signings as an example. So there's nearly 100 and something million pounds more for a team that were in front of Manchester United. Perspective is needed. But like I've said, if Sancho comes in and Reguilon comes in, I will hold Man United to the same level of standard that I will Chelsea, that I will Liverpool, that I will Manchester City. I don't change. If you've watched my show, like maybe you're new Chelsea fans that have only subscribed for the last few months. If you've watched me long enough here, my opinions don't change just because of loyalty, but context will always change things. Like I've said, if you're in front of Man United and over a 2-year period spend 300, 400 million pound on new players, and we are behind you and we spend half the money that you spend, of course, the expectations are very, very different indeed. We've got Monstar and Kai with us. We've got a Monstar first. Mendy looks like he's coming in, and Declan Rice. What you saying, bro?
First of all, pray for the rivals.
I kind of just knew that was coming. It's the tag now from Chelsea fans. Pray for the rivals. Yeah, I mean, what do you make of this Mendy deal now looking at about 18 million?
He's going to be a stopgap goalkeeper, so he's just going to be there to challenge Kepa for the first season. Probably might be number 1, and then next season we go hard, big, go out big for a goalkeeper. So that's probably going to be Mendy. Now with Declan Rice, from what I read on the Telegraph, it said Declan Rice is going to be our first choice that we want, but if we can't get him, if West Ham prove too stubborn, we're going to go for Soumare, which Lampard spoke highly of in January. And you guys know Soumare because you were linked with him as well.
Yeah.
He's a very good technical defensive midfielder. I would rather him because he is an absolute baller. Yep. I watched him at Stamford Bridge against us. He's a baller, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think he's an interesting one. See, this is what I love about football fans. That player's name was on the lips of every single football fan in the Chelsea United, all the football hipsters that pretend that they know about all these international players. He was the guy. United got to sign him. Chelsea got to sign him. Rare.
Yeah.
And you get to the summer, and because no credible journalist has mentioned his name, if you notice, no one's talking about him.
Yeah,
he's just gone quiet, and that's the thing of so many of these football players from the continent. It's even like with Mendy, there is not, for me, I would say 99.9% of Chelsea football fans had no idea. When you were linked with Mendy, they probably thought, why are we buying another fullback? When they first read the report, and they've watched a couple of compilations of him on the internet, and they're judging. And like I've said, I think he looks a little bit flappy. But in the cold light of day, I don't really know how good or bad he is because I just haven't seen him play football. And it's the same as Soumare. Like, I've read a lot about him. I've heard about him. But the fact that suddenly nobody's going in for it, I mean, no one's going in for him this summer. That just tells me maybe give him a bit of a wide berth. I think that Declan Rice is such a baller and would improve you massively. Kai, what you saying, bro, about these deals? This could be number 8 and number 9. Is it worth just going for 11? Is it worth just signing another 2 and rounding it up to a brand new team?
Morning, Terry.
Morning,
everyone in the chat. I mean, I'm more kind of lenient toward Edouard Mendy. If it's only for 18, I have no issue with it. It was for the 30 million pounds that I had an issue with, but if it's for 18 million, I'm more soft to the idea. I don't really mind it. About the Declan Rice skin, if we can get Soumare from Lille, I would prefer that over Rice. I know people are gonna be, oh, you have an English agenda, blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. I just prefer him more because I think he's a better player. I've watched him play more. Did I watch Declan Rice play? Yeah. Is Rice as technical as him? No way. He's not as technical as him. And I think technical ability is very underrated in the Premier League. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm hoping we get him. But knowing Chelsea, we're gonna get the more expensive, guy from West Ham over this guy because of the passport. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm holding my hands up. And
Well, the one thing about Declan Rice that might be in the back of the mind of Lampard is homegrown talent, though. I know you, but we've got our academy players. Yeah, some of them are going to leave. If this is the thing, if the signings work out, some of your academy players will go. So you will need that homegrown kind of talent. You know, Monstar said this when we were off air yesterday. Like, you look at Tammy as a great example. Tammy isn't being dropped for Werner. Tammy was already dropped for Giroud towards the end of last season. So there is a theory he could become third choice this year. So if he does become third choice and plays less games, gets less minutes, there's a likelihood that he could go. I think Mason Mount and I think Reece James are very likely to remain a major part of your setup for years to come. I think that Lampard has got a soft spot for Mason Mount in that regard. Of course, he had him at Derby as well, didn't he? So I think that's all part and parcel of it. But we will see. I added a few more callers here. We've got Man Like Mo on the line with us. Man Like Mo, what are you saying, bruv?
You're right, yeah?
Yeah, good, man. What are you saying?
I just noticed you're online now. I just noticed. I put my notification on. I knew you was online. Chelsea are looking fucking solid in the transfer windows. I'm not going to lie.
As a Man United fan, are you frustrated at how well they're doing in the market?
Well, because they've got owners who care about football rather than fucking money. Do you know what I mean?
Language, please. You can't swear, but yeah, I get that. I understand. They're going about it. They're going hell for leather in terms of their approach. That cannot be denied in any way, shape, or form. How quickly are you worried about them in terms of pushing past United, or do you think that actually it's going to take a little bit of time for this squad and this group to actually gel together?
I don't know. I could say it's going to take time, but you see with them, they've won the league 2 years in a row of 2015 or 2017. So I don't know, to be honest. It's a hard one. You have to see what happens. But they'll definitely, I do think they'll challenge Liverpool and Man City, in my opinion. But I don't know where we're going to go, man. Honestly.
Look, United are looking in a good spot as far as I'm concerned, bro. Just to put this out there, the Reguilon deal is very close. United are just negotiating.
Is that a done deal? I've just been told it's a done deal.
Well, it's practically done. What United are in the process of doing is they don't want a buyback clause in there. Mm-hmm. So they're in a situation where they're just trying to negotiate out the buyback clause, because again, and that's great business, because you look at the Haaland deal. United didn't want a player that had a low buyout clause in his contract that would be triggered after his first full season at the club. They don't want a buyback clause in there, because if Sergio Reguilon comes in and kills it at Man United, even if the player decides, I want to leave and I want to go back to Real Madrid or back to Spain, United want to hold all the cards in terms of the asking price. If Man United allow a £35 million buyout clause, imagine Sergio Reguilon does 2 years in the Prem and is killing it, and he's worth 60-70 million in the market, but we lose him for 30. It's bad business. So, we've got to look at some of these deals and understand they take a little bit of time. I don't think United are looking at 9 players. I think United are looking at 3 or 4, because I don't think we need 9 players. We had last summer and this summer. We had a caller that I don't think a lot of United fans and Liverpool fans, well, maybe Liverpool and no one, are looking at things realistically, that Chelsea wouldn't have signed 9 players this summer if these two happen, if they hadn't had a transfer ban. Because they'd have signed 3 or 4 last summer and 3 or 4 this summer, or something along those lines, and it would have been the same. It's because it's all being done in one summer. I think that's why it's kind of skewing things a little bit.
Did they use Morata and Hazard's money? They did, didn't they?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's part and parcel of it. And if you watch the Liverpool show we did last night with Kieran Maguire, the financial expert, yes, you do use the money in one way, shape, or form. Because it's incoming versus outgoings, and a big amount of money for.
But Terry, no one talks about how Chelsea bring in about 100 million or more than 100 million off loan money alone. No one really talks
exactly, and that's why I think for me, I'm not frustrated at anything Chelsea do. What I get frustrated at is at how sometimes it's twisted. So Chelsea's youth academy produces brilliant players. However, I don't believe that those academy players are developed as for the primary reason of becoming first team Chelsea players. It's developed because of the loan money you make that helps for financial fair play, help keep your head above water. That's always been my view. Now that's Chelsea's model. What's interesting is that some Chelsea fans want to ignore that element and go, no, it's about developing our future. You haven't developed anybody for your first team really since John Terry, like who's actually become a regular mainstay in your first team. So until that changes, and it's true. Like so much of what and another thing Chelsea are brilliant at doing as well is even your players that have flopped. You're brilliant at getting them out early at loans into other clubs and raising their market value. So like Bakayoko, like Man United, where our mistakes are, is we've got Phil Jones that's sitting around in the background festering. Where for me, Phil Jones should have gone out on loan. He's got like 3 years left on his deal. He should have gone out on loan 3 years ago. Hopefully, if he goes out, look at Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling was worth almost nothing last year. No one wanted him. We got a £2 million loan deal for him. He killed it in Italy. We're probably going to raise. It's going to be another loan fee this year of around €5 million with a €20 million compulsory purchase order at the end of it, which means over a 2-year period, we've got nigh on €30 million in for a player that nobody wanted. And that's where I think an element of what Chelsea do is brilliant. We should be doing that this year. I wouldn't even maybe sell Pereira or Lingard or any of these guys. I'd loan them all out. That way you're not paying their wages. They can build up their confidence elsewhere and do well. And then the following summer, you can do a bit of a bidding war for them. Do you get where I'm coming from? And I feel like that's, there are ways of raising additional money that, the difference is with United. If we raise 200 million through player sales, I'm not sure how much of it actually goes, but some of that's going to go into the coffers of the owners. And we know that because we have got a different model in that way. We added Indiana to the call. Indiana, what you saying, bro?
Morning.
Morning, mate. Morning. Chelsea going for number 8 and number 9. Is this like anything you've ever seen before?
No, I've never seen anything like this before. I know Monster's going to be saying we're winning the league. They're winning the league, or whatever. That's not.
Oh, yes, we are.
No.
Yes, we are.
I would be confident if I was.
You can carry on praying.
Who's going to spank us? Budget FC.
It's not happening. But if I was a Chelsea fan,
yeah,
I would be expecting top 3. Top
3?
I would be expecting top 3. Yeah.
Expecting, like you mean like the minimum kind of.
Yeah, the minimum would be top.
I
see Chelsea. I've been saying for a while.
I'm the same.
Chelsea finishing second. I do see them finishing second. Liverpool
second to who? To who though?
Man City.
Man City will win the league.
That's acceptable. Not budget.
A lot of people keep coming on here talking about Liverpool dropping to 3rd and 4th. India. I mean, this week, everyone knows watching right now. Wednesday night, we are covering Liverpool, City, Tottenham. Thursday night, we are covering United, Chelsea, Arsenal, doing season preview, season predictions. Across both shows, we'll talk about player of the years and top scorers, but it's going to be predicting the league and where teams are going to finish. What I'm hearing a lot at the moment, though, from callers is Liverpool 3rd, Liverpool 4th. I mean, man like Mo, I know there's no love lost for you in Liverpool. Can you see Liverpool dropping 2 or 3 places in the league this year?
Do you know what? I don't think they'll retain the league. I think, personally, in my opinion, I think they'll get second. If they don't sign anybody, they'll be in trouble. But if they get Thiago, I think they'll get second. You know what I mean? But other than that, I can't see them going 3rd or 4th. I think second minimum. I think Chelsea will get 3rd and we'll get 4th. That's basically how I'm going to put it. I think we'll get top 4.
To be honest with you, I think they need more than Thiago. Thiago's not enough. Look at their attack and the depth of their attack. Other than the front 3, they have no one.
It's not just that. It's not just that. Teams will take points off of Liverpool. You can only play a certain way with the same players for so long. And everybody else around them is really strengthening. Man United were really good off the back end of last season. They'll be taking points off of them. I can see that happening. Chelsea will be able to take points off of them. Don't sleep on Jose. Don't sleep on him. He'll make it really hard. He's going to lock it down. He's going to go for the 1-0 wins.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Liverpool. If Liverpool have one injury, Mo Salah gets injured. Who comes in? I think
if Van Dijk gets injured, who comes in?
Well, that's the interesting element in relation to in them. I think a lot of other teams are being slept on as well. And we haven't spoke about it yet on this show. Well, not very much on this show, but I was thinking the other day just about the fact that Look who Everton have signed. Now I know, like some of those players are no longer as popular as they once were. As an example, if you look at the likes of, say, I can't remember the guy's name now.
James Rodriguez.
Yeah, if you look at like James Rodriguez, as you say, as an example or whatnot,
they might overtake Arsenal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, this is the point. So I mean, for everybody, there's all these teams coming in and challenging. You know, if we look at the last 14 games of last season, which is interesting, it's the end of the January transfer window. This is why I think the league going to be so could be so incredible, right? You've got the top six from that point onwards are literally the traditional top six, as we would call them. United on top with 32 points, City with 30 points, Liverpool with 29, Arsenal with 26, Chelsea with 26, Spurs with 25. So you're talking in the back end of that season, once the January window was concluded. Remember, Chelsea couldn't buy anybody in that time. Most of the other teams added quite a few of the teams added people, but that back end of that season, where things leveled themselves out, where Liverpool became more human, I would say. 7 points between top to seventh. And by the way, Wolves on 25 points as an example, in that mixture as well. Everton on 19, we mentioned them for a reason, and Sheffield United on 21. The one big disappointment in that last 14 games was Leicester, who only accumulated 14 points from 14, but they might bounce back early on in the campaign. Yeah. This is going to be a very close season. Like I've said before, if the overall quality of Chelsea, Arsenal, United, and Manchester United all improve, this is why I keep talking about points totals not being the ultimate barometer, but just look at the league position. Because if they all improve, it's like Liverpool could be as good as they were last year, but still accumulate less points. Just because sometimes you just don't always come out the winner in games. And it's going to be such an intriguing season with everybody looking like they're going to improve. City, by the way, still haven't landed anyone like of any real note. Once that Koulibaly deal is over the line, once a new striker comes in, once they're 2 or 3 more players deep into their window, United are going to sign a couple more. I think Arsenal have got one more deal to come in as an example. I think we're looking at such an interesting sort of landscape. We added Matty to the call. Matty's a Chelsea fan. What are you saying, bro?
All right, Terry, how you doing? You all right?
Very, very well. What are you saying, my bro?
Do you know what? I say what I said on Sunday, I think it was, when I last was on the show. I don't think Mendy's the guy that we need. I think, I personally feel that, in my opinion, we'd have been better off saving that money instead of buying Declan Rice and getting a proper goalkeeper. I mean, we had the likes of Onana on offer. We had the guy from Paris Saint-Germain on a loan deal. I mean, that would have been better for me, than going for Mendy. I think if you talk about the amount of money that we've spent on outfield players, and then to back that up, we've got an £18 million goalkeeper. I mean, come on, behave. I mean, we've got that much,
Matty, I think logic here. So now we're looking at a player that's 18 million. We're looking at the fact that other more highly rated goalkeepers haven't quite come off. I think Mendy's a backup signing, bro. I think Mendy's a number 2.
Can I just answer that question?
Go on, mate.
Basically, Matty, Chelsea can't buy a top goalkeeper if Kepa's still on the books. Because of his higher wages, a big goalkeeper will demand higher wages as well. We can't have 2 goalkeepers on massive wages. We have to get rid of Kepa first. And Chelsea can't get rid of Kepa this season, unfortunately. So we can't go for a high-profile goalkeeper, unfortunately.
Or next season, too. I don't think we can get rid of him next season either.
Until we get rid of him, we can't.
We could loan him out and pay half of his wages and then sign another keeper or find an agreement that way.
To be honest with you, that's what my thought behind it was. If we get a first choice or somebody that's going to have more of a chance of getting first choice, like Onana, who's actually done something, then surely you've got more of a chance of pushing Kepa out, or at least improving his game. Mendy is just he's just contesting for Caballero's post, his position. You know what I mean? I don't mean to come across as, like as a defeatist. And I know that some people from the Football Terrace and I have spoken on this issue. But I mean, we had several offers, do you know what I mean, for several big goalkeepers. And for me, I think it's a bit disappointing. that we've gone with a lesser option, in my opinion.
Yeah, but I don't think you have. I don't think you have gone for a lesser option. I don't think Mendy is Chelsea sitting there and saying that's our future goalie. I think you're going, that's who we're going to buy to be our backup. And now 80 million sounds a lot for a backup goalkeeper, but listen, you're talking, yeah, Burnley want 50 million pound for Tarkowski. The world's changed. 18 million pound for a football player now is dirt cheap. United picking up Van der Beek as cheaply as they've done is weird. The like that Thiago might be going for 27, 28 million pounds is because of his age and contract and everything else surrounding it. As a general rule now, 18 million pounds is not a lot for a good goalkeeper, especially when goalkeepers are a fairly rare commodity. I think Chelsea will. They've got to, no one wants Kepa. That's the reason why I haven't bought a bigger goalie. If Kepa was sought after, I think some sort of deal with him leaving, somebody else coming in would have been done. The problem is nobody wants him. And if nobody wants him, and he isn't going to leave because he's on £135,000 per week. Who's going to pay him that much money? No one. We've added Prime to the call. Prime, what you saying, bro? Mendy in. What's on your mind? Declan Rice as well. I'd love to hear about.
Mendy, you can hear me, sorry, yeah?
Perfect.
Yeah, Mendy, we were talking about him on Twitter last night, and I was watching. I haven't seen this guy live or anything, so maybe my judge of him isn't the best, but I was watching analysis videos of him and stuff. He's only marginally better than Kepa. I see the way he comes off the line and plays out the back could be quite of a worry in the Premier League. His save percentage looks good, but in reality, when you actually look into it, it's not.
He faces more shots. I think that's the.
Yeah, but even at that, it still looks, the way he saves shots and parries it, he parries it into danger. He doesn't parry it away from danger, which again is also a worry. So
Martial's licking his lips.
Noodles, you know what I mean?
You look at it.
And that's lengthy.
We're putting Martial back on lockdown.
He's licking his lips.
Yeah, Prime, I get everything you're saying, but I don't. He's a backup. He's going to be your backup goalkeeper. I don't think any of it really matters. I think Kepa is going to play 90% of your Premier League and Champions League games.
Yeah.
I really do think it. So I think that's what you should be looking at. Super chat from Francis, who says, "How can I contact you? I want my small company to sponsor some of your shows. We need the UK exposure on football. Don't forget the manager factor." Francis, just drop me a DM on Twitter. My Twitter is at Terry Flewers. Real simple. Just drop me a DM, bro, and we'll have a little chat about that. Always happy to talk about some sponsorship deals. I'll even post it in the comment section now. My at Terry Flewers, because I can't share my screen. By the way, thank you for everyone who's become a new member. Nearly 10 new members in the last couple of days on the Football Terrace, which is amazing. I have shared the link a couple of times in the chat group. If you can become a member for as little as just 99 pence a month. But loads of new gold members at $4.99 a month have signed up in the last few days, about 12 of you. So thank you in the last week or so. So that's amazing. Thank you very much for doing that and supporting the show. It means a great deal. Yes, bro.
Is there going to be another FanFag Live?
Not in the same, never in the same sense. Although we pretty much do that. We pretty much do it digitally now after every game. So that's the way we were doing post-match games in lockdown. That's how it's going to continue. So watch along start again from this Saturday. Adam Charles is back helping us do that. We're going to be covering. We're going to be doing watch alongs for pretty much every single top 6 team in every single game they play. Post-match reaction shows for every single team. In the top 6 as well. So just trying to synchronize calendars now. We're going to be getting 2 or 3 people on for each watch along, so it won't just be me.
Can that come to your show? I remember my saying my one. Yeah,
you can. You just got to promise not to say that you're going to get a shotgun and shoot Jose Mourinho in the head.
No.
You said that.
He's gonna drop some sponsors, man.
No, man. I'm a good guy, man.
Yeah. I mean, you're a good guy that wants to shoot someone, but it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Guns don't kill people. Rappers do.
No.
That's one of my favorite songs. Yeah, I remember when that song. Do any of you know that song? By a group
I've seen
called
them live. Their first live performance at Ashton Court.
The Golden Looking Chain.
Gold
what I loved about it, I remember I had friends of mine kicking off saying, how dare they say rappers kill people? I'm like, bruv, look at the spelling. They meant rappers like sweet rappers. Absolutely. It made me die. I was like, oh, people got really frustrated by it. Somebody here says you are a fake Goldbridge.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I literally am. I mean, I literally am. 'Cause I'm definitely not Mark Goldbridge. Yes,
You're definitely not an Forest fan.
well, look, Goldbridge is not an Forest fan. I love that. Like no one else can do it. Can you imagine? Like, I want to be a rapper. Do you sell as many? Can you sell as many records as Drake? No, you're not a rapper, then, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Imagine that was your logic, bruv. Imagine that. Imagine that was your logic. If you're not as good as the best person in the game, you can't do it. So listen, your comment is like water off of a duck's back. I thought I'd pay you a little bit of, I don't know, credit, but I thought I'd mention your comment because I know that's it. Your day, your week, your month is now complete because you were noticed. And I know that actually this is a mental frailty that you have. So hopefully it makes you feel a little bit better, my friend. Hope you find love. Hope you find peace. Hope you find happiness. Hope you get a nice cuddle. There we go. Who was that? Sorry. Was that Matt?
Terry?
Yes.
Just before I go, mate, what do you think of the chances of us signing Declan Rice? What would you think personally it would bring to Chelsea?
Great question. Chances are high. There is no way he wants to stay at West Ham. I think he'll respect them as a football club. They've given him a chance, etc. But there is no way that he wants to stay there in the long term. That club for me just feels like it's slowly eroding from the inside out. In terms of Declan Rice, if he was Spanish, French, Italian, Brazilian, Russian, even if he was American or Australian, he'd be rated higher than he is. Because he's English, it's seen as bland, unseasoned, uncultured, and the boy is technically gifted. He can control a midfield. He can control a tempo. He can pass. He can tackle. He can cover in defensive positions. And he's still very, very young for having so much experience. He will add, I think he will end up, look, Jorginho is a brilliant player at what he does. I just don't necessarily think he captivates what Chelsea fans want. And they want a bit of what Jorginho's got with a bit more bite. I think Declan Rice gives you elements of Jorginho's game where they can control the ball from a double pivot or a single holding midfield role, but he also has that bite in his game that I think Chelsea fans want to see, and that's the element where people go, "Oh, it's an uncultured English thing that you want someone that can crunch into a tackle." No, it's just a preference. Trust me. Argentinians love it. Argentinians love that. Argentinians love a player who go into a crunching tackle as an example. And I'm sure, and this is my ignorance, there are other nations who love having a player or two that can do that. What you want now, I'm not comparing him to Roy Keane. Roy Keane is a football legend. Roy Keane had that. Roy Keane's, what the younger generation think of Roy Keane is hard man, bone cruncher. Now, man was a baller. He could pass, he could score, he could create. Was he as good at passing the ball as a Scholes or a Pogba? No. But he could do that, but he could also control a midfield. And I think Declan Rice gives you large elements of what Jorginho can do. Maybe not quite as good a passer, but he has that bite and that tenacity and that dogged nature in the middle, which I think is needed. So that's my answer. And as I say, if he was Italian and played like that, people would be like, "Oh, he's like a modern day Gattuso." That's what they would say about him. But because he's English, it's he's a bit of plain chicken, bro. You know what I mean? He's bland. That's all it comes down to because he's English. People don't want to rate him. I think it'll be a brilliant, brilliant signing for you.
Plus, he's good friends with Vincent.
Thanks, Terry. I hope to come on soon.
I think with Jorginho, with Rice, I think a lot of people's issue obviously is the price tag because so far West Ham have slapped 80 million on him. But obviously that will probably come down. If Chelsea can get a good price for him, then why not? Otherwise, like I said before, Lampard has spoken and highly rates Soumare, who will be around 30 million, who to me is just as good. So, do you get what I mean?
How much would you think is a good price for him, though?
For who? Declan Rice?
For Rice, yeah, for Rice.
I would give, if it was down to me, I would give 30 million and Ross Barkley. That's
yeah. That's
no one wants Ross Barkley.
Well. I mean, but West Ham is Barkley's level, man. West Ham is Barkley's level, and I think the one great thing Chelsea have is you have so many players in your squad, on your roster that you could use as bargaining chips for this. I mean, Bakayoko wouldn't want to go there, but they'll probably take him, even though it was a flop for you guys. You've got quite a few options. Do you know what I mean? Where you can say, right, we want your guy. How about this? What if they asked for something like, what if West Ham said 25, 30 million plus Tammy? Would you do the deal?
No.
No, I don't even like Tammy that much, but no.
Would we personally do it, or would Frank do it? There's
no.
That's what
Way,
he suggests. Like, what if?
Yeah, I'm asking your opinions. I don't think the club would do it, but I like to understand.
In a few years, Tammy could easily be worth 50 million. Why would we give him up plus 30 million for Declan Rice?
If I was Tammy, I'd want to go. I'd want to go if I was Tammy.
To West Ham. Would you want to go to West Ham?
Would you do? Would you do this deal? Would you let both? Would you do this? Would you do a pure player swap? So Mason, Declan Rice in, but Barkley and Loftus-Cheek in the other direction.
Yes.
No, not Loftus. How about Barkley and Bashway?
Barkley Bashway is pretty good. I would say if I was West Ham, I'd be like, right, I want 20 mil plus both those players.
Terry, the thing is about West Ham, they're not really in a position to be bargaining right now.
Who?
Yeah.
West Ham.
Why?
They have a long-term contract with him, and he's
no. I get that, but apparently they need funds for transfers themselves, and the owners or the board are not willing to relinquish said funds for David Moyes. So they're not. They want to give him money through player sales, and the players that they want to sell, like Felipe Anderson and them, man, aren't. No one's really going into them.
I love it when Prime drops a bit of London slanging and dem man. No, I love it. It's because it's being said with the Irish accent. I said the other day I was listening to an American talk on a podcast, and he kept on calling people bruv, and I was like, "This is so weird." It's like a cat barking. It's brilliant. I love it. I genuinely love it, and I keep seeing this new Man United kit everywhere. You know, this damn leopard zebra thing. Interestingly, though, I love this guy, but I hate him at the same time. How come Beckham looks good in it still? It's like Beckham can wear anything, and it's like it's true. I've seen Beckham wear a skirt, and I'm like, he makes it look all right, you know. Like he wore a skirt, it made me want to wear one. Now I tried to wear it, and it didn't look so good. But yeah, Beckham, son of a gun, like putting that shirt on.
Terry, that tells you how bad the kit is that they brought David Beckham in to wear that shirt. Did you notice he wasn't wearing the shorts and socks?
Yeah. Well, he's not a full kit. Yeah, do you know what I mean? He ain't going to do that. We've added Ivan to the call. Ivan is a United fan, I believe. I may have got that wrong.
Hey, guys. No. I'm actually a Chelsea fan.
Chelsea, what are you saying, Ivan? What are you saying about these deals, my bro?
To be honest, I think we're going. I did quite a lot of research since yesterday regarding Mendy, and I think we're going a little bit other way around. Mendy will, 100% be a backup guy. Kepa, but not Kepa. Caballero is actually done. He's going to be a third choice, like it was. What was it? Green, like he was some time ago, like 2 seasons ago. And I think that Kepa, either we're going to loan him out or sell him, or we won't go for a second number one. It just won't happen. Otherwise, we're going to need to cut on a serious loss on the stupid fee we paid for him. And I think he said he wants to keep him and try to work with him. I mean, I do believe in Czech, and I think as a Chelsea fan, we all do. And I hope he can get something out of him, at least to increase the value so we can sell him. No one will buy him now. No one.
But do you trust
shooting yourself in the knee?
Do you trust Czech about this?
With everything. Yeah, I do. Since he came last year, have in mind that we had a big problem with what was he? Michael Emiliano, the technical director of Sporting. Yeah, Jesus Christ, he did a lot of shit. In one single transfer, he bought Bakayoko, Zappacosta, all tier 2 players he could find in Europe, basically. All.
Was Czech involved in getting Kepa in? I can't remember.
No, he signed after that.
He wasn't there when.
I mean, Czech was still. I think Czech must have still been playing football when Kepa came in.
That's why I'm saying. Would you take Czech's opinion? The man willingly joined Arsenal. So,
I would listen. I would listen. Czech for me. I've listened to Petr Cech talk. The guy's got a brain.
Yeah, the guy's
he knows football.
More language than me, so you know.
Yeah. Do you know? It's an interesting thing with some. Yeah, no. Listen. What I find really interesting is how. How do I put this? So, I think Mendy's gonna be back up. However, if you're going to trust Lampard and Czech's opinion when it comes to signing Sarr, Silva, Chilwell, Kai, Ziyech, Werner. If you're going to trust them on that, you have to trust the one I say you put faith in the one you're sketchy on. There might be one deal you go, nah, I'm not too sure. You know, they might sell a player that you want to keep rather than throw your toy. I'm still seeing Chelsea fans do that. Like, I actually saw earlier on today, like Liverpool fans getting angry saying, I feel heartbroken that Genie's leaving. It's disgraceful that we're getting rid of him. I'm like, bruv, the guy that's just brought you back to the promised land is happy for him to go. Why are you not? I know we're all allowed an opinion. But there comes a point where, like, there's saying I heard once that, you know, science only takes you so far and then there's God. I feel like that in football. It's like my opinion only goes so far. And if I trust the people that are in charge, the people that are in charge are successful, know the game, I just got to put a little bit of faith in them. Like, instead of losing all my energy over, you know, people are so desperate for their opinion to be heard now. And I know that sounds very ironic from a guy that sits in front of a camera 3 times a day spouting his opinion. But it's like, I always say it, I don't expect Ollie to listen to me. I'm just talking to you guys as fans. Like, we're a community. But at the end of the day, I might disagree with something Ollie does. But then it's like, okay, let's see if it comes off. And I think too often it's like Chelsea fans have got no room to moan this summer. Like, I'm seeing some that are like, oh, we didn't get a goalie though. I'm like, bro, that's like, you know, imagine you like you got a list of 20 things for Christmas and all the best toys, tablets, whatever. You get everything but one thing and you still moan. You know, like, have you seen Harry Potter? You know, Harry Potter's little cousin, that chubby little kid who like goes, yes, him. And it's his birthday. And he goes, his dad goes, oh, you got 34 presents. But I got 35 last year. Yeah, but this year they're more bigger and they're more expensive. But I want 36 this year. That's how some Chelsea fans sound at the minute. It's like, bro, it's the best. Crazy. Go on, mate. Sorry, go on.
I would like to point out something, actually. The biggest transfer that we did in the last 2 years, and I'm not really like banging or waxing lyrical about it, it is the place of the technical director as Petr Cech. Marina did not know what she was doing, what she didn't have a support from guy like Cech. And now Lampard
No. In her defense, she's not a technical director.
But that doesn't need defending. That's literally what the guy has just said. She knows what to do in terms of negotiating the price. Yeah, she's told by Roman, you can spend up to, this is a total pot.
Yeah, she's given a budget.
Yeah,
right?
and then the person making the football decision feeds in, we have to get this guy. We value him. The scouts and everybody put a report together saying, it's delivered by the technical director, this is how much we think the player's valued at. So if they value a guy up to 60 million, she knows she can negotiate up to 60 million in that regard. And she goes and does that work. But if she's being led down the garden path by people making bad football decisions, the signings are bad. That's where United were going wrong. But we weren't listening to the football people. We were making our own decisions. That's now been fixed. The fact that people, I still don't like Matt Judges. Well, Matt Judge ain't making football decisions anymore. He's just negotiating the dealings. I understand you might want somebody to be done quicker, but I think Chelsea's structure now in terms of buying is perfect. You're listening to manager, you're listening to the technical director, the owner's pumping cash in, and then you've got an exceedingly good commercially minded businesswoman who's running the commercial element to get the players in as cheaply and as quickly and as well structured as possible. But the most important element in all of this are your accountants that make sure that are cooking the books correct. They're literally, without them, you're in big trouble because the accounting element is so important. Harry here, the super chat says Chelsea playing career mode. Does it feel, Monster, does it feel a bit like you're playing FIFA?
Yes. I mean, I felt this feeling before. I was well aware, you know, I was watching Chelsea from God knows how long. So I was there when we bought Drogba, Robin, Carvalho, Pereira, Thiago Mendes, all these
Crespo.
guys, Petr Cech. No, Crespo was before that. Petr Cech and all these guys. So it's a similar feeling. We've seen this before, and we're winning the league this year. I'm telling you now.
You know what? It's similar to the 14-15 window. Remember when we bought like 4 like world class players? We got Felipe from Atletico Madrid, right? We got Costa, we got Fabregas, Costa. We got, and all those players. Jill, people don't understand it. We were top from August till next August.
But
right?
with Costa and the rest, you have to. It's similar to what Liverpool.
And Costa's not in the level of Werner.
No. It's similar to what Liverpool did when they bought Alisson and Fabinho. Their team was already more or less complete. They just needed the stars to make it title winners. With Chelsea, we're basically bringing in half of a new starting 11.
Prime's twerking for rivals here.
Yeah, Prime. I don't
Okay.
know. Prime.
I'm
I
sure
don't enjoy our talk slow, man.
Twerk, 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 twerk. Prime is gonna twerk, 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 twerk.
Terry,
Yeah.
Terry, what's happening with Kante? I heard he wants to leave.
No, he doesn't want to leave.
No.
That's all fake news.
Look at that. I love that.
That's
No,
fine.
he wants to stay.
I call that right.
There have been lots of muted rumors that he may or may not leave. Personally, I can't see it. If he does, listen, we've got to start opening the squad, but we will make an opening to have someone like him in. Like, I'd love him at the club. But there we go. Boys, I appreciate you all coming on, having your say. Thank you very, very much, as always, for contributing to the show. Everybody who has tuned in, we're back later on today. I've got some big Jadon Sancho news coming up later today. I was sent a message early hours of the morning. This afternoon, that's coming out. Later on today, of course, That Chelsea Show is back. Anita hosting. We had the announcement yesterday that Callum from the Coppish is going to be hosting that Liverpool show from next week. The Man United show is back. Of course, Aaron had his first outing this Sunday. We're back later on today with more content for you. Please do me a big, big favor. Smash the like button. Hit the share button as well. But until next time, take care of yourselves. God bless, and we'll see you all soon.